spiritually speaking, metaphorically speaking. You got India, you got Korea, South Korea, you've got China, you've got Africa, all these places that deal with America. So it says the kings of the earth have committed fornication with it. Why? Because when you go to any of these nations, you see the people dressed like Esau. You see the buildings made like Esau made them. You see homosexuality, which is part of his doctrine. You see women ruling over men, which is wicked, first and foremost. But you see this, right? You see women's liberation, right? And I'm not saying, that Esau, he ain't forcing these people. They willingly doing that. That's why it says they have committed fornication, because they came out and did that. And the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. The wine is her doctrine. Is the Esau's doctrine. Just like I went over all those things. That's his doctrine, right? To destroy the earth with their economic structure. These plants that they build, uranium plants, and digging in the earth for all these minerals and natural gases and things like that. That's all a part of Esau. He's the one that came up with this weird shit. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of the names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. Now that gets into the EU and NATO. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations. Again, that cup that is in America's hand is their ways of life, their doctrine, their don't believe in God, YOLO spirit. Only live once. Just do as thou wilt. Don't worry about what the Most High says. You don't have to follow the 10 Commandments. You can eat pork, right? Don't worry about it. He is the exact opposite of what the Most High is. The exact opposite. And the woman was Salakia. I just read that. And her cup full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication, right? Homosexuality, transgenderism, all these pronouns and all this bullshit that Esau's teaching. You know what I'm saying? That a man, these little kids who ain't even got a choice, you giving them sex changes, right? You artificially growing food, right? GMO food, genetically modified organisms as food, plastic rice, all this wickedness that goes on, polluting the water, polluting the air, just all for filthy lucre's sake, for money's sake. And upon her forehead was a name, verse 5, and upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. Now, who's committing all these abominations on the earth? Who's the one who's pushing this wicked vibration throughout the earth? Esau, Edom, right? Spiritually, what do we read? Spiritually Egypt, spiritually Sodom, right? What was in Egypt? Bondage. So everywhere he goes, he's putting people in subjection, right? And everywhere he goes, he's teaching this homosexuality, this sodomite spirit. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints. Why is she drunk with the blood of the saints? Because how have we been treated in America or under Esau? During the time of Maccabees, during the time of the Greeks. Every nation has had a hand in the destruction of the Israelites, the Negro, Latino, and Native Americans, so-called. which are actually Israelites according to the Bible. Right? So when he comes, when he sends Yahushua back to destroy this place, we're still going to be found in this devil's hands. And she's drunk with the blood of the saints. Because why? The torment, the torture that they've put us through here in this system, under their rule. They have totally annihilated our people. Everything they do at this whole system is set up for the failure of the Israelites. Ultimately, the Israelite man. Their prison system is set up. Their judicial system, I should say, is set up for the failure. Their government is set up for the failure of Israel. Right? Esau, Esau, Jacob and Esau. It's been an ultimate battle since then. Since in the womb. Since Jacob and Esau were in the womb. Fighting it out. Right? But that battle is about to be won here soon by Jacob through the power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Yahushai ultimately, but he comes out of Jacob. Right? And he gonna beat these so-called elites. They call themselves the illuminated ones, but we're the real illuminated ones. You know, because we got the real truth. And Yahushua will be victorious. And with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushua. Right? Because they're gonna, man, you know, this devil's not done. You know, he's coming down with great wrath. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. Right? So that's a future prophecy of what's coming to play right now. Right? Because this place is about to be destroyed via thermonuclear fire. Right? Because everybody's gonna get fed up with the whore, with America. They've made all these nations drunk. Well, guess what? After you're drunk for a while, you get sober. And then when you're sober, you're looking at if you're wicked, you're looking at some of the things you did. Like, man, what was I doing? Right? And that's what those nations are starting to do. These nations are starting to see that this bullshit that this devil's been pushing, it ain't worth it. And this devil, his power is over, man. His time of rulership is done. We're at the end of his rulership. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is that which followeth. Right? The kingdom of heaven, which will be established here on earth. You know, and I don't want to make this too long. I just wanted to get into a couple of those scriptures. I didn't get a chance to get into all of them, you know, or else this thing will be